So you're thinking of moving to Frisco, Texas? Well, in today's video, we are going to break down everything you're going to need to know about living in Frisco, Texas. I am getting tons of questions from the people reaching out, asking specifically about Frisco. It is the number one requested city for people relocating here, and whether or not Frisco ends up being the place for you, there are a lot of things that people may want to know about. So we're going to dive right into the pros, the cons, the cost of living, what's going on in Frisco, different price points, and if Frisco is truly going to be the best fit for you. And we're going to get after it right after this. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Living in Dallas channel. I am Kristen Carpentier, a licensed realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if this is your first time to our channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and hit that bell for notifications, because we are dropping new content every single week about what it's like living here, and you won't want to miss a thing. My family and I actually relocated here to the Dallas, Texas area over a decade ago, and there are a lot of things that we learned along the way. But we want to get into how we can help you make that move here, and more specifically today, if the city of Frisco is going to be the right fit for you. Because the real estate market here in the Dallas metro area has been picking up quite a bit this spring already. There are a lot of people who are relocating here for work and trying to find the perfect spot. Now, Frisco, Texas is obviously one of the most desirable areas to live in because of everything that it has going for it, from the things to do, to the jobs, to the location, and many other reasons why Frisco is the number one on a lot of people's lists. So let's dive into it and give you a little bit more information on what it's like living in Frisco. Now, first up, we want to kind of talk about where Frisco is located. When you're thinking of moving to Dallas, there's a lot of talk, obviously, around where is Frisco and is it going to be the right fit? So Frisco is straight north of downtown Dallas, and if you have never been here to the Dallas area before, you've never visited, and you're just going off of where Frisco is because everybody told you to, you need to probably understand the location and what the commute might actually be like and why everybody is flocking there. Frisco is a fairly large city here in the Dallas metro area and is about 69 square miles. It is located straight north of Plano and just south of the Prosper areas. So south of 380 and just north of the 121 freeway. But we will jump into our map here in just a minute and kind of give you an idea of your commute, location, and all of that good stuff. So a little bit of backstory on the city of Frisco. It can attribute its start to all the farmers raising cotton and grain and a railroad called the St. Louis to San Francisco Railway, which was known as the Frisco back in the day. So it dates back to the early 1900s when it got its start. Now, with the huge growth of Frisco, it is now home to all kinds of sporting events. I mean, if sports are your thing, Frisco is going to have plenty of options. So multiple options, whether you want activities to go out and watch professional sports, minor league sports, or maybe your kids are into club sports or rec sports, you are most likely going to be ending up in Frisco at one point or another. So it is also home of the brand new PGA headquarters, as well as the of Frisco, which is going to be this huge 2,500 acre master planned development with everything you're going to want to have, from the shopping to the dining. And they're saying all the homes from $700,000 to multi-million-dollar homes behind a gated community on a golf course. There are going to be multiple reasons why you might want to find yourself heading up to the someday. Frisco is definitely continuing to grow, and it is also home of the beloved headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys football team. Also, it is where the Star is located, which is the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. So another great reason why a lot of people want to be up in the Frisco area, because here in the Dallas area, the Dallas Cowboys seem to be what it is all about for quite a lot of sports lovers. Now let's talk a little bit about the demographics here in Frisco. We talked about how big it is. It's over 69 square miles. So in terms of population, the population at the 2020 census was over 188,000 people. Now in 2023, it is already over 218,000 people and is expected to reach well over 300,000 residents by the year 2030. And with the growth that Frisco has experienced in the last few decades, it has earned the title of fastest growing city more than once by the U.S. Census Bureau. Now, the median income at the census in 2020 was around $128,000, and in 2023 is now up over $153,000. And the median age here in Frisco is 37.4 years old. And as you can see here as well, Frisco is a fairly diverse city, which is another reason why a lot of people are drawn to wanting to live in the city of Frisco. Now let's talk about home prices. The median sales price since the beginning of 2023 is around $700,000 and is up from the same period the last year of 2022 by 4% when it was $672,000. And the current home prices range from as much as $12 million and down as low as $320,000. So you can still find some affordable housing options in the city of Frisco, but most of the time you are going to find those being townhomes or much older homes in the city of Frisco. So you do have those options, like I said, of multi-million dollars all the way down to the low $300,000 range. Now, there are definitely a lot of rental opportunities in Frisco as well, and the median rent for a single family home in Frisco as of 2023 is currently around $2,850 for a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom home, with a range of around $1,700 to $12,000 a month. While the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home median rent currently in 2023 is around $2,500 with a range of $1,700 to $5,800. So you can also find some affordable housing options if you are looking in the single family home range to rent a property also. Now, we want to also show you some other statistics from the 2020 census that give you some understanding of Frisco's employers and the jobs makeup for the area. Now, a lot of businesses have moved into Frisco, which is another reason why people are wanting to live in Frisco and some of the surrounding cities because of the job opportunities. We also want to show some of the other statistics from the 2020 census to give you some understanding of Frisco's employers and the jobs makeup for the area. A lot of businesses have moved into the city of Frisco and a lot of the surrounding areas as well. So people with management jobs are at the top of the list, followed by people working in the business and financial sector, as well as computer and mathematical occupations. So whether these people are in the professional sector or work in healthcare and finance, there are a lot of high-paying jobs with the number of hospitals in the surrounding areas, as well as companies that have made their home in Frisco or some of the outlying cities as well. Now, speaking a little bit on politics, Frisco continues to lean more conservative as Collin County is still a fairly conservative area, but it has been trending toward becoming a much more balanced type of political environment according to our 2020 elections. And a quick overview of the crime statistics according to Neighborhood Scout, Frisco is safer than 47% of the cities in the entire U.S., with violent crime ratios of 1.01 to 1,000 residents, with the average in Texas of 4.55 per 1,000, and the U.S. being 4 per 1,000 residents. So in terms of property crimes, there were 9.55 per 1,000 residents, with the Texas average being 21.91 per 1,000 and the US average being 19 per 1,000. So as you can see, it is a fairly safe community, which is another reason why so many people want to live there. Now let's hop into our map here and kind of show you around and give you a little bit more background on where everything is in Frisco. Now here we are with the city of Frisco. As you can see, the Sam Rayburn Tollway right here, like I said, is on the south end of Frisco, and this 380 highway up here on the north side is what is going to border Frisco and the city of Prosper. So as you can see, it is quite large. And even though we have this big green area, this is all the development up here of where the PGA headquarters is going to be, as well as that big new development that is going in up here in North Frisco that we were talking about. So this Dallas North Tollway is pretty much the main freeway that goes down through the city of Frisco, and it is a toll road. So you got to kind of think about if you want that added expense, if you're driving on the toll roads every single day, because those numbers can add up. And that also goes for the Sam Rayburn Tollway here as well. You will see some people who don't want to use the tollway, who don't really love being, having to spend that amount of money every single day, but these roads can back up if you're trying to take them along the side roads and you have to stop at every single stoplight. So it's all a matter of convenience and what you're going to want to pay. But when we kind of always start in and show you where the city of Dallas is and where it is in relation to that. Obviously, not everybody lives in Dallas proper, but we do like to kind of show where it is in location wise. So here you see downtown Dallas is all the way down here. Obviously, you can see a little bit of traffic going on right now, but you have this 635 freeway right here. And then up here, bordering the George Bush Tollway, which runs right along right here, you have Carrollton and Addison and Far North Dallas and Richardson. So you have to kind of get all the way up through here, and then you head up through the city of Plano as well. So like I said, Plano borders the city of Frisco just here on the south side. And, even with a little bit of traffic, it's about 28 miles from right in the heart of Frisco all the way down to downtown Dallas. So whether you need to get on the toll road and head over to one of the other cities, head over to the city of Fort Worth or anywhere else, this is, pretty much where it is. But they are predicting, because of the amount of growth that is happening in the city of Frisco, that it's kind of like, little Dallas. It's going to be Dallas and Fort Worth and then Frisco, because the city is just growing so much. So then when we kind of show you, say you travel for work and you want to be able to get to the airport, and there are multiple ways to get there, but you can see it's kind of about the same, 27 miles, a few alternate routes if you're going to be stuck in traffic. But depending on what part of Frisco that you're in is just going to kind of determine how long that commute is going to be to get to the airport. So another thing that we always like to kind of show where it is in relation to, the city of Frisco and what you might expect to be driving if you're heading that direction quite often. So as we go back in here to Frisco, you can see that it borders Louisville Lake over here on the west side. But like I said, the Dallas North Tollway kind of divides the city of Frisco in half. And over here on the east side, you're going to have the city of McKinney, this Preston Road that runs all the way up north here through the city of Frisco as well. This is kind of like your main shopping road, I guess we could call it. It's a big main road that has been here in the city of Frisco for decades. And when you get down here on the south side, this is where the Stonebriar Mall is, your mall shopping. You have an IKEA over here. All along this corridor is, tons of restaurants, tons of shopping. So you're definitely going to get that over here off of Preston Road, another big major road right here in the center of Frisco. We also have multiple golf court, you have the golf club over here, you have Stonebriar Country Club over here on the west side. And just as you head further north, there's a lot going in up here along the freeway also. The National Video Game Museum, when you pull up in, of course, maybe we should talk about the Star a little bit over here, which is down over in here, the Omni Frisco, the Ford Center, shopping, dining, eating, and the Star Center, which is where the Dallas Cowboys headquarters is and where they all practice their football. So another great area to go hang out on the weekends right here at the Star, the Ford Center, Dallas Cowboys headquarters. So you also have the Frisco Sports Complex over here, which is where the Rough Riders minor league baseball team plays. And then when you head up a little bit further north, you have the Toyota Stadium, which is where FC Dallas practices. This is downtown Frisco right here. We have the National Video Game Museum, but a lot of things are right along in here as well. And a brand new HEB. If you're new to Texas, you've never been to Texas, I've been in an HEB, I think twice before because they just came here to the Dallas area. It's a fantastic grocery store. So, especially as moms with kids, if you're doing your grocery shopping, it's a big, huge deal here in Texas to be able to go to the HEB. And of course, as always, we got a Costco. So another thing, if you come with families, if you like your bulk shopping, if you want to buy your furniture and everything else, your electronics, Costco's up here on the north side. So it is kind of far to get to Costco. There's another one down in the Plano area. There is no Sam's Club, but multiple shopping options for the most part is either going to be down here along the Dallas North Tollway or over along Preston Road. And of course, multiple other grocery stores and little shopping centers all around, gas stations and everything else you're going to need. But for the most part, a lot of it is going to be right along here. So here I wanted to go in and pull up my local MLS, and these are what we'll call our affordable housing options here in Frisco. I've just put in strictly the city of Frisco, so you can see where the homes priced between $300,000 and $500,000 are. And obviously you can see they're kind of spread out. When we are talking the Dallas North Tollway, splitting it from the east and the west side, you do have options on both sides of the tollway. If you want to be in some of these areas, which are probably some of these older homes over on the west side, or if you want to be closer over into McKinney, just might depend on where it is that you're looking for work, or maybe you have a specific school that you have in mind. But when we kind of go in here and click on, granted, this one is almost $500,000. And this kind of goes to show what you can get for $489,000 here in Frisco. So it is around 2,200 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And you can see it a little outdated. It is next to a park, so that could be a huge bonus for a lot of people, but it's clean. And even though it might be outdated, it can certainly get you into some of the Frisco school districts that you might be looking to get into. And then we go in and find another one. This one, $349,000, just under 1,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, single level. As you can see, it's clean, a little outdated, could maybe use some paint, totally up your preferences. But sometimes it's just a matter of getting into some of these homes that can fit in your desired location. So, not everything is going to be brand new and have all of these updates, but, it always is kind of good to know that you can move into a clean slate, even if the home is older, and see that you have something to work with. Sometimes that's a lot of things that people ask us about, knowing, can we get into one of these homes and not necessarily have to do a ton of work the day that you move in, because some of these areas are getting much higher price points, especially the way our economy has gone, and a lot of the homes have risen so much in value. But here in Frisco, you do have multiple options for getting into a home under $500,000 within the city of Frisco. And for a lot of people, that is a huge bonus. Now we wanted to talk more on the homes from the $600,000 to $800,000 range. And as you can see, there are a lot of options in that price range as well, from $700,000, $750,000, and that is all throughout the city of Frisco also. So you can get different communities. It totally depends on what you're looking for. Do you want that HOA? Do you want something a little bit closer down here to the south end of Frisco? Do you have to commute for work? Not everybody. Some of the areas in Frisco are actually part of the Prosper School District and even McKinney. And that also goes for areas of McKinney and Little Elm as well. Some of those little portions of the cities do actually feed into the Frisco School District. In fact, we had a client who specifically said, we just need to be in Frisco's schools. So they were open to looking over on the east side in the McKinney area because they knew it was still going to feed into the Frisco schools. So not all the time do you have to be right in Frisco proper if you are specifically looking for a Frisco school district, but definitely you do have some options. So when we kind of pull up here, we got 3,700 square feet, just under 800,000, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and obviously you can see somebody didn't do a very good photography job on these. Gotta love when you see some small dark photos. But let's go back out and find one maybe with, let's see, 4,100 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms for $750. And look, it has hardwood floors. I mean, if yellow is your color, the walls are painted yellow, but it does appear to have some upgrades. It's clean, you know, not everybody loves brown cabinets, but not everybody hates them either. So a lot of people love the wood grain, but it's clean, and they have done some updates. Sometimes it's amazing what you can go into and see these big homes and they might be completely outdated and there is just clutter everywhere. So it's always nice to see when somebody has made sure to stage a property and make sure that it actually shows its best. So you can still 4,000 square feet, $750,000 here in the city of Frisco. Now I wanted to go in and show homes in $1 million to $2 million in Frisco. And you can see that we still have quite a few options for that as well. But the majority of the higher price point homes are going to be on the east side of the Dallas North Tollway. And we can also, you know, obviously here in Frisco, you can find homes in the multi-million dollars as well. But not everybody has that high price point. Sometimes people, you know, there are still a number of people who can purchase a home over $1 million. So, you know, compared to multi-million dollars, we kind of wanted to limit ourselves here a little bit. So there are definitely a lot of options here in Frisco. For example, down here at the Stonebriar Country Club, 1.75, 6,800 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and it just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea what your higher price point is going to give you. The details in the home, the architecture, the beams, the stone, the granite, the cabinets, just gives you a little bit of an idea if you're more looking in that luxury price point. But there are definitely a lot of options to get into a nice luxury neighborhood here in Frisco. There are a lot of them. Whether you want a newer home, definitely a lot of great options for that as well. But certainly, what is it that you're looking for, which is why we are always suggesting reach out to us, let us narrow down your focus, tell you a little bit more about some of these neighborhoods and what is it that you're looking for. Do you want a gated neighborhood? Do you not want an HOA? And here in Frisco, you can get both of those. You can get in a guard gated community. You can get into a community where, you know, it might be older. You don't want the HOA, but you still want to be a part of Frisco. Multiple options. They also have options for townhouses and condos and a lot of areas with apartments as well. If you're a young professional and you're not ready to buy your next house, or you're relocating here and you want to live in the area a little bit and actually find the right house for you, there are definitely options to do that all within Frisco. Even if you work over on the border of the Plano area or over into Allen or Richardson, it's still a great location if you want all of those amenities. In fact, we had a client specifically who wanted the Frisco School District, and he knew how busy it was, but they both worked from home. And he's like, we go to movies, we go to restaurants, we love things to do, and we just want to live right in the middle of it. So Frisco was the best option for them. And that's why you reach out to us, so that we get to know what it is that you're looking for, so that we can help narrow it down and find out, is Frisco right for you, or do we need to branch out just a little bit to maybe help with your commute? And of course, new construction is one of the top questions that we get as well. If you're relocating here with your family, without your family, but you do know that you want new construction, this right here is just going to show you that we do have a lot of new construction options in the Frisco area. Whether it is $700,000 to $1 million to certain smaller master plan communities, we do have quite a bit of that still out there in Frisco. A lot of these communities might have smaller homes. They might be townhomes. They do have those options. And like I talked about earlier, the Fields is still coming in, and that's going to bring in a ton of new homes as well. So the new construction isn't going away, but depending on the size of your home and what it is that you're looking for, Frisco could be an option for you if you have a little bit bigger of a budget. If you are looking for that single family home, you're probably looking in, the 8 to over $1 million range. There are some opportunities to custom build a home here in Frisco. And there are certainly some custom home builders that are building spec homes currently also. So another reason to reach out, and we can help share some of that information with you. But this kind of gives you an idea where in Frisco the new builds are happening, whether it be a townhome or a single family home in Frisco. Now let's dive in and talk about the schools in Frisco. Now, obviously, we always suggest do your research, go to greatschools.org, go to niche.com. The school rankings in Frisco can be, depending on which school, rated 6 to an 8, depending on which website that you go and do your research in. But overall, niche.com is going to be ranking the schools in Frisco of an A grade because they really are fantastic. Frisco does like to keep their schools smaller, and that's why there are so many of them. In Frisco, there are 12 high schools, 17 middle schools, and 43 elementary schools, which is certainly a larger number than most of the other cities here in Dallas because, like I said, they keep their class sizes smaller, and therefore when Frisco grows, they build more schools. So obviously, with the amount of growth that Frisco is going to continue to have, that'll just mean more schools are going to continue to be built. Now, in the Frisco ISD, it employs over 8,000 people, and 4,500 of them are just the teachers alone, which just gives you an idea of how big the Frisco ISD is. Now, like I said, it does get an A rating for the school district, and it also has a 98.3% graduation rate. Now let's get into a little bit of our pros and our cons of living in Frisco. Now, the pros for those of us who are a little bit more warm-blooded is the weather. Now, we moved from Arizona where it was really, really hot, and we moved to Texas and it's still really hot, just a little bit more humid. But we love the outdoors. We love being able to go to the pool during the summer and to the lake and just be able to spend most of the year outside. I tend to not love the snow quite as much, but it's nice that when the cold comes that it doesn't last for very long. And a lot of times you can just throw on a sweatshirt and call it good. But definitely a pro, just like anywhere else around here in Dallas, is going to be the weather. Number one for me. Now, number two is definitely the things to do in Frisco. Now, if you love to be out and about and always have something going on, Frisco is going to be the place to be. Even for those who don't live within Frisco, I know so many people who go to Frisco on a weekly basis. A lot of times that's me included. But whether you love sports, whether you want the outdoor activities, if you like to go to the lake and the pool and hiking and biking, or just take your kids to the park, definitely lots of options to do that. There's endless trails for, like I said, hiking and biking, especially with being so close to Lake Louisville as well as Lavon Lake. And if you love enjoying the lake life, there's different things to do based on which lake you like to go to. And not to mention there's multiple lakes here in the Dallas area, so you can hit them all up anytime during the summer. But also the food options. So many good restaurants are in the Frisco area, and not to mention shopping. The Stonebriar Mall is over there, as well as pretty much anything that you're going to need all throughout the week. Whether you need to go to Target or TJ Maxx or Nordstrom, there are going to be so many options for shopping that you might not ever need to leave Frisco. And a lot of people really do love the location. It's not too far outside of Dallas, and quite frankly, not everybody works downtown. So its location to be able to get to other areas all around the metro make it super desirable to live because you are surrounded by so many other great cities and things to do that Frisco might just be right up your alley. And on top of that is the community feel in Frisco. Yes, Frisco is large, but what's great is that because of all of the community events and things that go on in Frisco, there's always an abundance of ways to get out and to meet people. And not to mention all of the great neighborhoods and areas all throughout the Frisco area. You have multiple reasons to get out and get to know your neighbors because here in Texas, we have that Southern hospitality going for us. And it doesn't matter where you're going to live, you're going to need to get to know your neighbors. We love knowing that everybody looks out for one another, and Frisco is no exception. I have multiple friends and clients that I have helped move to the Frisco area, and that is definitely one of the reasons why they absolutely love it. The community feel and all that there is going on, and all the reasons that you have to get out and enjoy all of the activities just right within the city. But of course, there are a few cons to living in the city of Frisco. Now, if you're commuting for work, like I said, to downtown Dallas, maybe you actually commute all the way to Fort Worth. You're not going to be so happy sitting in your car for hours on end every single day. But not to mention, you do have the access to multiple highways. But the con for that is the fact that hopping on and off the most convenient highways around Frisco, you're going to have to hop on the toll road to get anywhere. So maybe you don't love knowing how much that's going to add onto your budget by jumping on the toll road every single day, or maybe it doesn't even affect you because you love the convenience of it. So just making you aware that you could have a very hefty toll bill if you're needing to do that on a continual basis. But also commuting wise, because of how busy Frisco is getting, you could be stuck on those freeways and commuting for a really long time in rush hour traffic if that's what you have to do. And also, like I said, Frisco is continuing to grow. Frisco is quite big. And if you don't live very close to the freeway, just knowing how big it is and how much it's grown, Frisco could definitely be a little busier than what you're used to based on where you might be moving from. Obviously, people moving from bigger cities, they're used to it and they love knowing that they can hop in their car and get anywhere they want to go. But for everybody who might need to drop their kids off in carpool, or they might need to just get to Target every single day and they're stuck in traffic just because of how busy it is, it might not be their ideal situation. But for people who are used to it and just know that they want the conveniences of everything right within their community, it could definitely be a great plus for them. Now, one more little thing that we want to talk about is our cost of living. Now, here in Texas, we talk about it all the time. If you're moving here and you're not quite used to it, is how much our property taxes are. Texas has the fifth most expensive property taxes. You're going to probably want to make sure that you budget for that also. So we're going to get in and kind of show you what our property taxes are here in Frisco. And our property taxes here in Frisco, with a median price point of around $700,000, you can see that you're going to be paying around $11,000 a year just for your property taxes. So another thing to be aware of, like we talked about, is your toll fees. Now here you can see if you're traveling from Frisco to downtown Dallas, you could be paying upwards of over $7 each way. Now, we do always suggest you get a toll tag. You can put that on multiple cars. It'll debit your card every time it starts to get low just to make sure that it has enough money on there. But with the toll tag, you can see that the savings is almost $2.50. So it's only $5 just to drive one way to downtown Dallas if you have that toll tag. And also you can see what it would cost you if you're driving to the DFW airport from Frisco. If you're hopping on the Dallas North Tollway and then the 121 Sam Rayburn Tollway, you can see that without the toll tag, it's over $8.50. But with a toll tag, you're going to save a couple bucks and it's only $6.62. So you are going to have those toll fees just getting into the DFW airport. So that's going to tack on a little bit as well. Now, another cost of living that we like to talk about are your HOA fees. Now, if you're moving here to Texas and you're not used to having HOA dues, or maybe you do and you are just hoping to not have to pay them any longer. Well, that is definitely dependent on which part of Frisco that you move into. Are you in a guard gated community? Are you in a brand new community? Are you in a community with amenities? Or are you just in an older community that really doesn't offer much? So your HOA fees are going to vary greatly here in the city of Frisco, especially because you do have a very wide range of housing developments that we have here, and depending on what type of amenities that they have. So you can find multiple options. Are you in the country club community? Are you, like I said, the guard gated community, or just a smaller neighborhood? You are definitely going to see a very wide range in that. But as you can see, we shared multiple different options of where to live, what Frisco has going for it, where everything is in relation to it. And no matter what your budget is, you most likely can find somewhere to live in the city of Frisco. So, again, that's why you reach out to us. Tell us what it is that you're looking for. Is Frisco going to be the right place for you? Do you want to be where the hustle and bustle is? Do you want to be close to your work? Do you want to be close to family? And do you want to be able to put your kids in some great schools with all of the amenities surrounding it? So Frisco could be a great option, but it's not for everyone. And that's why you reach out to us. Tell us what it is that you're looking for and what it is that we can help you in order to find the right fit for you and your family. And with that being said, until next time, take care.